It's the 40th anniversary
I got it!
of us not getting the U.S.S. Flagg for G.I. Joe for Christmas.
Introducing the G.I. Joe U.S.S. Flagg aircraft carrier.
Sky Striker landing!
It's big, tough, and built to carry all the planes, men, and equipment Joe needs to go into battle against Cobra.
But although we didn't get the biggest toy set ever made,
Some assembly required.
Feel the jet! Commando battle station! Where's the Admiral? He's at the wheel! Black aircraft!
we did get a lot of toy sets.
Fire! We got Cobra!
So this is my kindergarten briefcase, which has all of the blueprints of all of the G.I. Joe toys we ever played with.
G.I. Joe U.S.S. Flagg aircraft carrier comes with what you see here. Other figures and equipment sold separately from Hasbro.
Although we didn't get the U.S.S. Flagg, my brother and I just turned 50. He will in a couple of years here. We just wanted to talk about the toys we did get and how much we appreciate how expensive all this stuff was. Now, the U.S.S. Flagg was $109 back in the day, which is like a $350 toy today. So that was a big spend for a parent to put into a kid's pocket, especially if they had multiple kids. And we are not ungrateful at all. Just a little bit, maybe? No, not ungrateful. Okay. We don't feel like in future years we got mountain bikes for Christmas. So there were years that we got some really huge presents, but the year that this came out, my dad rightly justified that we didn't have a room to keep an aircraft carrier in. So, yeah.
Yeah. Plus, let's face it, there were some inherent flaws with the scale of that aircraft carrier. I mean, you could only fit one Sky Striker on it. My first thought was I'd like to have a fleet of them because it's not going to do a whole lot. I don't know.
So you needed more than one aircraft carrier?
No, you needed a bigger aircraft carrier and lots more Sky Strikers.
Okay, that's fair. Well, let's start with some of the smaller toys we did get. So one of the first things was the Pack Rats. I think I remember this wasn't the one, but there were some Pack Rat toys that we got. So I'm going to move this out of the way. Do you remember this one?
I remember, yes. Was this was one of the first ones you got?
I got the one with the 4 guns. I had a Pack Rat that had 4 guns, but this was the flame. I think this was yours, actually.
Don't remember that.
You don't remember the Pack Rat?
No, I feel like I remember the first thing we ever getting had sandbags. It was like plastic sandbags.
Okay.
Some type of artillery that didn't move.
Well, we'll see if we come across that.
Yeah.
By the way, I did send in the USB. What are the little tags? UPC, the purchase point things?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saved up the purchase points and sent in the $8 for delivery to get the Slugger, which is a big artillery piece. Still waiting, it never came.
Yeah, G.I. Joe.
Yeah, if you
Customer service.
Yeah, I'm waiting. Send me my Slugger.
Check your physical mail from the 1980s.
It fell under a machine
Somewhere.
or behind something.
Now this one I remember. Yep.
Yeah, that one had 4 missiles. Is this anti-air or what was that supposed to be?
It's got twin stage boosted missile, it says. Which I guess is
Another remote
important to
control.
get it up into the upper atmosphere where where Cobra might be flying.
Came with a remote control too. Why is that a single track? How would you turn? Okay, that's a design flaw, people.
Yeah, that's
You need 2 tracks to be able to speed one up and slow one down. If you just put 1 track on it, that's just going forward and backwards.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's talk about why this is cool, because how did this inspire you? I'm looking at the blueprints, and then I remember, this doesn't have a breakdown of what the inside of it looks like, but do you remember when this kind of inspired us when it came to junior high and drafting?
Yeah, we did take drafting classes.
And not to mention what you drew on and put on the wall that was your Harrier all those years with all the different parts, with a million of these pointing to what it was. Or
Yeah, that was ninth grade for an English class. I did a report on the Harrier, and that was...
Yeah, and I did the same thing for a scuba diver guy. Like I put about 1 million pieces of equipment on him that he couldn't all carry at once, but it was in this sort of front ways,
3D.
sideways. Yeah. So
Nice.
thank you, G.I. Joe, for the blueprints.
Did Sergeant Slaughter drive the Warthog?
the Havoc for a second, but yeah.
And what's up with these missiles that have like a circular fin on them? I thought they were... This was waterproof, right? This toy, I think you could actually take in the bathtub.
You could float it. because it was a little. Did it have the depth charges like your
Like the whale?
the
The orc.
hovercraft? Yeah. I don't know that
I
it.
don't think it did. No, just the 2 missiles.
Man, this thing was a cool toy.
Had smoke things.
Yeah.
And 2 tracks, that helps.
This was my favorite for sure. Mainly because it's got like the P-40 inspired warthog on the front, and they made it their own by making him angry, the giant tusk.
I'm a little sad that they messed up the blueprint by putting decal things on here and not giving us the 3rd dimension.
Yeah.
Yeah, why'd they put that here?
Somebody was saving money.
Yeah, come on, people. Put that on the back
Okay,
here.
let's see what it's. Oh, it's just telling us how to put the tracks on.
Right. Oh, they're calling those grenade launchers. I thought that was smoke.
Okay. And then, what is it telling us about these missiles?
Just, that's where they go.
That is a cool design, though, if you think about it. Probably helped with guidance. What does it say?
8, 9,
Number
10.
8.
DME, distance measuring equipment. MGM 59 Lance surface to surface dual thrust liquid propellant missile. That sounds high tech.
Yeah.
Liquid propellant, huh? So they don't want solid core rockets on the back of their Warthog.
I mean, they were experimenting with things in the 80s still, so.
Yeah, this is before it got really crazy. We had the better toys in the 80s than it got to later.
Cool toy, though. That one was a lot of fun. And it didn't break. It held up really well.
This one was yours too, I think.
Yeah,
The Off-Striker?
This was definitely one of the OG ones. And I think people to this day are still trying to make their sandrails look just like this by mounting. I've seen them in several parades where they've got like missiles and machine guns on the side of them that are fake. And this is pretty.
That's a pretty substantial gun there.
Yeah.
They're calling it a 70 millimeter.
Wow.
That's big.
Is that a bazooka launcher? What is it?
10 round, 70 millimeter automatic launcher.
Now, fiberglass was a big thing in the 80s. Now it would be a carbon fiber frame of some sort or
That's
titanium. But it does have halogen headlights, which is pretty far ahead of its time.
That they mentioned that in the blueprints. That's
I
amazing.
love it because that would have been a big deal.
Yeah.
But think about it. There was that one dune buggy that was the thing back then with the the cool little eyes on it.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember who made that.
Wasn't that the Love Bug?
Yeah, or was that Scooby-Doo? I can't remember. No, I don't remember. But this thing looks cool. There's no extra gas tanks though, so they were not expecting to get stuck.
It's short range.
Yeah. And then the big antennas look cool on it too. I like that.
You remember if the sides had places to stick your guy's feet on? They'd have a little post so the guy's foot could stick on them.
I don't know. It does have latches on it though, which is important. I don't know what it's opening. Maybe that's how you
Open the
access
engine,
motor.
okay? Sometimes you got to do work on your stuff.
Yeah.
Just because our dad was a mechanic doesn't mean that somebody doesn't have to work on stuff.
Right. It does have, well, let's look at these tire sizes. They're 175 70-15s, and your minivans have bigger tires than this now. So this is a small dune buggy.
But they are off-road tires.
It does say off-road tire.
But they aren't sand tires. Those would be paddled.
No. I don't remember who came with that one.
Wasn't it? Didn't Dusty drive
Oh, it
that?
might have been Dusty because he, had that little scarf thing that went over his face. Which nowadays there'd be a lawsuit about that.
Oh, God.
Did you use the dust scarf in the 1980s in Panama? If so, we've got a class action lawsuit for you, Dusty. Okay, this one was cool.
Yeah.
Another pack rat.
That's the first one I remember getting.
See, now this is some Mark Rober would love the design of these tires here because they're curved on the edges, which would make it easier to turn in the sand
And
when
turn
you get
faster.
stuck. Yeah. Although I'm afraid of where the center of gravity is on this thing.
So the 2 outer ones would actually raise. That you couldn't do anything with the front ones, but these 2 are on a pivot, so you could shoot upwards with those 2. And again, remote control.
Yeah.
And that one's.
It's got a joystick.
It's an Atari joystick.
They were on a budget, so they're like, hey, let's just use that.
Whatever, Atari works fine.
It's cordless though, and it's got a projector screen. Oh no, that's the top of the joystick. I see. Sealed radar dome. Why would it need to be sealed?
So sand doesn't get in it.
Oh right, okay. It's got a cooling system, air intake.
That's why you're not an engineer.
Say that 6 times fast. Componentry.
Componentry. Pre-programming componentry. Where's that? 7. It's just pointing at the back of this.
Pivoting all-terrain carriage. So it can pivot, but it also,
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that spun around separate from the wheels.
yes.
And this little antenna could fold
Which
down.
is good, which means you could probably turn it faster than it could turn itself to just catch up to whatever was flying by.
This thing was very playable. I remember enjoying playing with that quite a bit. Many Cobra died because of that pack rat.
And they were affordable too. That was like the low end
Yeah,
of the stuff.
those were probably $8 in the day.
Yeah, they had somehow convinced our parents that you could get a couple of those for one big thing. Okay, this one was cool. This was a white missile, wasn't it?
I remember that being white.
So just like the ballistic missiles we see at the Air Force Museum. Very, very similar.
What is this thing?
That's his little buddy.
Well, every missile
Like
needs a little
short,
buddy.
short circuit inspired little buddy to go around, and he takes out all the bad guys that are trying to get close to your interballistic.
Actually, it looks like a rotational response feedback transmitter. That's what that is.
Oh,
It is called a little brother. Remote LB-109 little brother fire control radar station.
okay. See,
Okay, you're right. You're right.
and okay, does this also have a little buddy, or is it just like a giant Ticonderoga
That's how
pencil?
it's you have to have a pencil to slide under the launch rail.
Yeah,
It just takes the rail with it on this one.
yeah.
Yeah.
I do like that they know that the U.S.A. is coming when this thing is flying your way.
At Mach 2. Satellite data link contour mapping radar. Where's the radar on this? Oh, it's in the nose cone. Okay.
Of course.
Glad they had data links. Guess that's what the mainframe G.I. Joe character did. Took care of all the data
Right,
links.
out in the field too, right?
Yeah,
He didn't have to be.
his satchel was
Yeah.
the original laptop computer. It didn't
Yeah,
fold
it
down.
was a converted World War II telephone for calling in airstrikes instead.
That was good.
No, that was a cool one.
I don't
And there
remember
was a
that.
place for the dude to sit too, right? Right up over here.
I think you're right.
Yeah, I forgot about that part. Even with all the technology, if he needs to be the one to, because there's no remote control, you see. Okay. Sorry, you already moved that off
No,
the table.
it's all good.
That's the one.
You think that was the first one?
That's the sandbag one. It actually had realistic looking guns that didn't have lasers. I like the gun profiles. That is cool.
Yeah, M16s, chambered in 5.56,
And some 7.65.
and a
Isn't it 7.62?
caution sign. I don't
It's
know.
like the
They were pretty realistic at
Browning
that
assault
moment, so I'd be
rifle?
surprised if that wasn't right.
okay.
Then the storage
Stick 'em-
locker for your ammo. Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
It's
No,
like
that
a
was
gunner-
cool.
Why'd they get away from that? Seems like they tried so hard to
Well,
be
by the-
sci-fi.
By the time our little brother was getting these toys, it was all laser beams, and kind of the guns were getting ridiculously big.
Yeah, but we liked it when it was more realistic.
I really liked that one, and it was like one of the original. This is like you get that to defend it from the hisses. All the hisses showing up.
Okay, I remember.
Oh man!
I have a memory of getting in trouble in school for taking this to school in my pocket.
Oh man!
Playing with it at recess. There was a gas meter box or something out in the middle of the playground, and there was some loose dirt over there, and we used to dig tunnels in it. And if you brought a G.I. Joe guy in your pocket, you could play with that in the at recess. And I guess teachers got mad because kids had loose stuff, and then they get in trouble with the parents. But it had different arms you could put on it. So they had a flamethrower arm, a gun arm, and a missile arm, if I remember right. And one of them was a claw.
Yeah. So didn't we also treat this one like it was a diver?
There was a diver that looked kind of like this.
Oh.
A deep six with with the G.I. Joe shark.
Okay.
And he didn't bend at all. He was like one piece.
Oh.
And he had a little
Maybe that's what I'm thinking.
little
of.
pump thing, so you could put him in the bathtub and sink him. And then you
Okay.
pump him back up and you come back.
I hope we see that one. Maybe not. But this is super cool. It's like an original mech right here.
Only
Oh,
you could,
and it's a Cobra one
but
too.
you
I
could
just
put
now
you
realized.
could put a person in it too. So a Cobra soldier could pilot it, or it could be automated.
Yeah, I just remember it was cool because it just popped open like Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah, two halves. Then had a little screen in there, like you'd be looking through the screen. When
Yeah,
you're
let's see
driving.
what it's calling that.
Number 20.
It's got electromagnetic leg locks. What would you need that for?
So when you put it on, it would lock without putting latches on it.
I guess. That's kind of smart. We use a lot of magnets now.
Internal viewing screen.
Good.
Remote rocket. How is it remote when you have to launch it from the arm? Brain scanning equipment. Oh no!
Whoa.
Whoa! That's what this is.
It scans his brain or your
The
enemy?
driver, so it'd be faster. It's like voice act, or instead of voice activated, that's pretty high tech for 50 years ago or 40 years ago.
Okay.
Good job, Cobra.
And let's not forget, they did think, I liked that it's got the 1980s scuba mask inspired
Viewing
mask. It always had like the sad face, the sad eyes kind of thing going on.
like a Cylon.
Yeah. And it also just so you know, in case your guy's a little worried,
Oh, it's a bulletproof viewing shield.
Yeah.
That's important.
It doesn't do much with the blast from your own equipment, but it'll keep the bullets from going through it. That's pretty cool.
That was I have a lot of nostalgia for that.
Yeah.
That was,
And it was all white, right?
yep, all white.
Yeah,
They made some other colors in the future, but that's what it started
Well,
with.
that's a neat toy.
G.I. Joe will return after these messages.
He'll fight for freedom wherever there's trouble. G.I. Joe is there. G.I. Joe!
It's a Cobra attack! Get the G.I. Joe hovercraft! Get the new Joes aboard!
G.I. Joe hovercraft holds 9 Joes. It's the big new way to bring the Joe team into action. And it floats on water.
Release depth charges! Yo, Joe!
A real American
Chase that Cobra! Way to go, Joe!
G.I. Joe hovercraft comes with driver, other figures, and equipment sold separately from Hasbro. Now, back to G.I. Joe.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so you have to understand the street behind ours used to fill with water. The water didn't go to the curbs; it went to the middle of the street, so it was like a flood street. And whenever it rained hard, there'd be 6 or 8 inches of water flowing down that street pretty fast. So this was one of the toys we used to take over there and float. Do you remember doing that?
Absolutely.
And you had the oh, here it is.
Zartan's hydroplane thing you do.
And Cobra's hydrofoil.
Yeah,
And that was like a maroon color.
so cool.
And if you took the hydrofoils and folded them back, it floated real nice like a boat. So we used to float these down the street.
Yeah.
But we'll come back to that one in just a second. But this one was fun. It had a little thing that opened up and it would shoot this little. You'd hook a guy into this
Yeah.
little, and he'd go flying out the front.
It doesn't just have one G.I. Joe emergency escape vehicle, it has 2.
And the mini bike.
Which reminds me of that movie, The Dog That Stopped the War. Remember they had that
Forgot about
snow
that.
plate with a hidden door so you could slide out in case the fort was being overtaken. You can just jump onto a boogie board apparently and just get out of there at
Slide
Mach
away.
9. You're gonna hit something in the water, but you're out of there and you're safe.
You just hope you're not facing the enemy at that moment. It's
Yeah.
going right into him.
And then if you make it into some exotic island, you've got an 80s inspired Honda DAX that has room for you and
And no place to put your feet. So you've just got to hold your feet up the whole time. That's like a balance bike.
yeah. That's hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so let's talk about some of the features.
It did have depth charges.
And the button to release them, which sadly we lost a few of those
That we did.
because there was no way to really keep them in. I feel like we lost a few when we were bringing it downstream.
And it had these four missiles in two separate pods,
Yep.
2 big cannons, and then
Turrets,
2
the dudes
turrets.
with the turrets. And then let's not forget, I think there was the little wheel right here that you spun and it would make the fans spin.
Yeah, that was on top of it.
And then it
somewhere.
had blades, the blades that you could adjust. But this is my favorite animal in the animal kingdom, the orca.
Orca.
And I love that they called it that.
Yeah, it had a couple of, there's the depth charges. Shot out right there. And this opened up and you could hold like 6 guys in there.
Yeah, that was important. If you're going to have that many dudes, you got to have a few extra ways to escape. And so you've got your boogie board escape, Mach 9 escaper, and this cool.
Now, because of this, I wouldn't have done this. I don't think I would have marked this up because I'm kind of anal like that. So I'm thinking I got this for Christmas one morning, and this was my dad's way of putting the decals on and keeping track of what he'd done already. So I think my dad put the decals on this. Our dad. Yeah, that one was a lot of fun.
One of the best ones they ever made for sure. Way better than an aircraft carrier.
Way better. I mean, way better.
All right. So you what?
Way better.
I think you're better off.
Yes. So the hydrofoil was a fun one too, because allegedly it could go over the water really, really fast. So what are they thinking these missile things were? Were those torpedoes?
Some type of torpedo. It's important in the marsh. They're not going to go very far.
Angular launch surface swimming black ray torpedo.
Now we've moved away from all things fiberglass, and we're really stepping up our game now with some carbon fiber reinforced laminated single V hull. But it does look like kind of a Coast Guard kind of boat, Coast Guard inspired. But adding the hydrofoil to it was even cooler.
Something popped up. Did this have a missile bay that was stuck in the front?
Don't remember that part.
I think you pressed down and this thing popped up and it had 4 yellow missiles in it. That sound familiar?
I don't remember. What it did have was Zartan.
This wasn't Zartan's. Zartan's was green.
This wasn't Zartan's boat?
Nope.
Is it one of those things like when Mom and Dad bought me a He-Man, but they couldn't find...
No, this was just the Cobra had a whole bunch of hydrofoils. Different missions that bring a bunch of them out. There they are. Yeah, 4 missiles.
Okay.
That did pop up.
So what I'm saying is I feel like I got this with Zartan because maybe like when I got my He-Man and they couldn't find what's the cat's name?
Battle Cat.
They couldn't find Battle Cat, so they got me Skeletor's cat to go with He-Man, which was totally wrong. We know that they wouldn't have gotten along. I wonder if that's the same thing. Zartan was like, all right, if that's the vehicle you're giving me. Because he sort of had like the little speeder bike too thing.
We'll see. I think that's in here.
Okay.
Whatever you're thinking of, that's not the water moccasin. That was something else too.
Okay, that's a really cool Cobra sticker, by the way. I like that. Like a modern day wake ski boat. Nice design. Okay, cool.
Another $8 toy.
And
Very
this-
playable.
This is the one that Snake Eyes used, wasn't it? Or no, this is the one that Deep Six used. Oh, it's a jetpack.
It's jetpack.
It's not
Yep.
the underwater one.
No, it's not the shark.
All right, so maybe I'm thinking of Snake Eyes because that's who used to fly this around. I don't know.
I think he flew this at some point. A lot of guys use this thing.
Now this is interesting because you remember all the 60s and 70s fighter jets, all the Delta jets. It's got that. It's got the stupid short little wings that we know aren't going to help with maneuverability, but it's got F-15 sized intakes on it.
That's because it goes really
It
fast.
goes really fast. and
might
you
even
better hope
kill the
there's no
pilot.
mountain in your way. Let's see how they avoided all of this. Micro mesh alloy jet intakes. Good. They're using micro mesh by now.
That's important.
Quick stick with a giant dash. Velocity lift-off control. Okay.
It needed thrust vectoring.
That they had only dreamt of thrust vectoring at that.
Well,
point.
that was a thing that they were developing at the time. Jet exhaust discharge ventilators, but that would have been better if you could have thrust vectored them.
Yeah. Not to mention the intake could have done that. Whatever it is the F-15 does in the front.
That's just for intake. That doesn't change the direction of the thrust, though.
Okay.
That just changes with how fast you're going, how much air you need.
But just to reassure whoever bought this, there is a direction adjustment, which we would call yaw.
All right. Then at some point, some of these toys got really stupid.
Yeah.
Like
It's
the
it's
Cobra Pogo.
Yeah, I was going to say the Pogo stick, and sure enough, it's called the Pogo. I did remember something.
And that's so lame, I'm not even going to talk about it anymore. That hurts my feelings that they even made that. Wow. Dumb.
You know there's one dude who invented this thing that's watching your channel right now going, I hope they talk about the Pogo. So for that guy's sake,
Okay, for his sake.
let's discuss how stupid you is and why you don't have a job anymore. First of all,
You called it the hobo, the homing bomb system.
yeah.
Are we gonna let that slide?
No. Sorry, I don't know what to say about that. This is kind of dumb.
That's what it is. That's number one.
Oh, that's the dumb
That's
one.
the homing bomb system. It's first of all, it's a missile. It's not even a bomb.
Well, but when he pogos though.
He's gonna be upside down when he drops it,
Yeah.
and then he's gonna ride himself in
Yeah,
midair.
this one really is. Somebody was either drinking or something when they designed this one. It'd be interesting to have a little backstory, it's a little backstory on these. I doubt we'd be able to find anything on it.
Do you know what story dice are? Mm-hmm. Just some random things that you throw them down. You're supposed to write a story about it. It seems like that they had some random object dice.
Well, that is what my friend said. He believes the story was for how they invented the F-117. He said he believes they designed that plane on a bet. He said you had one engineer or a pilot dare an engineer and said, I bet you couldn't design something this dumb. And sure enough, he said it was like flying a wadded up piece of paper.
That's fair.
He had no aerodynamics. Okay, that's what the Pogo was.
Yeah. Okay.
It was a
Back off the table.
precursor to the F-117.
Okay. Question: why is this one green? All the rest of these are blue, blueprints. For some reason, the glider came out green.
Yeah.
Do you remember this?
This was made out of plastic, wasn't it?
It was styrofoam.
Styrofoam.
You throw it 3 or 4 times and it'd break, but it was fun for those 3 or 4 times. And that's probably why they went to the plastic one after that, because well, those broke too much.
Wow.
And they had the Falcon version. This I'm pretty sure this was yours too. Then they had the Cobra one. So maybe the Cobra one was purple, and the plans for that were purple too. But I think this was green and white.
See, that's kind of a dumb name, an impact strip. I mean,
Yeah, aren't you supposed to
you-
land this so you aren't impacting
are
things?
you afraid? It does have vertical stabilizers. That's important, which are enormous.
And here's why it crashed. It had 30 caliber rapid fire mini machine guns, so it was too heavy.
Yeah, I'm sure Wilbur and Orville Wright were not happy about this design when they saw it.
But it did have a little peg, so you'd stick your guy on the front of it. So that's how he'd hang on to it. And the
From his back.
yeah.
Okay.
And then the fins could be adjusted just a little
And
bit.
then his
so you can-
arms were just kind of Supermaning out in
He's
front.
just like,
He's steering like Iron Man.
oh, there were no controls, so it was.
Well, maybe it's
had the brain control.
more brain controls on this one. Wow. Okay. Well, they failed on this one. Although I'm sure they sold 1 million of them. 'Cause
But
it
they
was
broke.
cheap.
They broke way too easy. That was my complaint. It's like I don't like the toys not to be durable. Really fun for 3 or 4 throws, but then they got messed up. And
But what great camouflage though, right? Okay. See what else you got. Is this the original Hiss?
no, this is what Sergeant Slaughter actually came with.
Oh,
That was his
I
original
remember
tank.
this one.
I think that was yours too.
Triple T. This might have been James's.
Oh, yeah, right. That might have come out. That was a little later. So there's a professional wrestler called Sergeant Slaughter, and he came along, and they decided to introduce him to the universe, and they keep making these tanks where the guy's sitting in front where he can get shot easy. That was my big complaint. Should you put armor in front of your guys so they are a little more bulletproof? But
Yeah. And once again, they designed another set of things with tank tracks that just had little wheels underneath it. And it was until they had that one Abrams style tank that you had that was the only one that actually had tracks.
they had 2. They had a green tank that was
Oh, that
one
was
of the
one
original
before that,
ones.
yeah.
And it was a little slower. And then the Mauler came out. It was a tan colored tank, and that one had controls and that would run. Yeah, but this one, at least they put 2 treads on it.
That's true. Now this one can turn.
Yeah, that's
Right into the missile.
That's the standard for all.
And it can tow things.
Well, Sergeant Slaughter.
That's what the T stands for, the triple tow.
the triple
Can tow or be towed.
for when your Havoc breaks down.
Yeah. Man, can you imagine the muzzle blast to be right next to your pilot there?
But every time they showed up, the Joes always were saved because here goes Sergeant Slaughter, and he'd just like take on 100 troops and be good. That was fun too. All right, Skyhawk. This is one of my favorites. Totally unrealistic for design, but very fun.
This was the green one.
Yeah, it was green, and the turrets could come up and down.
Yeah. I liked this because it was kind of like inspired by Star Wars almost.
It's just fun. It looks cool. It covered the pilot completely. He could get in and out. Basically, it's a helicopter with jet engines.
Yeah.
It had 2 little missiles on it. It was kind of small, affordable,
We knew it was fast and maneuverable.
just infinitely fun to play with.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah,
Let-
2 thumbs up on that one.
Let's talk about the boron epoxy composite tail skins.
That makes it a little bit more armored, right?
No, that's important for steering. But what is 9?
Important
It's another.
for
Oh,
steering.
it's another little tail fin. Because if this, you're not getting enough stabilization from this, you've got that vertical stabilizer. Oh, they're two. Oh, see, look at that. That was uncommon.
Oh.
It's kind of like an F-35 or an
A little
F-22.
bit of stabilization going on in
That's
multiple
nice.
planes there.
Now everyone's using that because of the epoxy.
Well, you need an elevator anyway, so.
Yeah, you needed to have that. And there's a signal processing air-to-surface rockets. They're spats. We all know they still use spats to this day.
Hey, when you build a good missile, they keep building them. It's like the sparrow. You just keep building sparrows. All right.
Okay, now we're at the
Now,
Deep Six.
this breaks a lot of rules of physics, but it's still really cool. So this one came with a diver,
Okay, that's what I'm remembering now.
and he came with a little pump, and he's the one you could drop in the bathtub and pump him up, and he'd be full of air again. He'd come back up. And then it had two spots under the fin, so you could either put a torpedo or another diver, so it could carry two divers into action with it.
Yeah, it's like some early Navy SEAL kind of stuff going on. I'm going to deposit this diver at the beachhead.
Only this was supposedly an aircraft too, so it could fly and go underwater.
Of course.
And I don't know how that gets accomplished with a good diver underneath. You hit the water going 200 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that would break something, but this cockpit opens sideways, if I remember right. And it had two cannons that popped up out of the wings. But overall, really fun toy. That was to merge, and it even has flying fish wings on the shark.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So-
I like that design.
Water atmosphere analyzers. Yeah, it had some cool stuff.
Yeah, and we've also moved into a couple of other cool things here. I just saw it and then I lost it. It was tidal wave. It had tidal wave cannons, which is a nice way of that would scare me if I had a tidal wave cannon coming my way.
Tungsten main running light. Why is it? Oh, tungsten. Is that 12? Oh, so that's front thing's supposed to be a light. Oh, I guess if you're going underwater, I guess you'd have to light it up.
Yeah.
Why is it tungsten? Isn't tungsten what most light bulbs are made out of?
No, tungsten's a strong metal, a strong.
But isn't it a tungsten wire? Isn't that what Edison figured out? That tungsten was the one that could hold a.
I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure it's.
Okay, maybe.
I'm pretty sure the filament that he found out actually worked was a tungsten filament.
Well, that's good. In case you come into any really deep water squid, you got to have a strong, powerful light to scare the squid away.
And tidal wave cannons to fight them off with.
Yes.
See, mixing all the best things.
And torpedoes.
It's not for giant squid. That's for humpback whales.
Okay. Yeah.
No, don't shoot
don't know
humpback.
when
No,
they're coming.
we have nothing against whales. Canceled because of that.
This was the original tank?
Nope, this was a little tiny one. This was probably $6 back in the day. Another guy sticking his head out trying to get shot at.
A little armadillo. How cute is that?
You don't remember that one? I had that one. Could hold two guys in the back and hold on here.
Yes, now I do.
And the
The
turret.
two guys were standing back there like they were riding on the back of a 80s Toyota pickup.
Either the turret didn't turn or it only turned like 10 degrees both directions.
And this only went up and down a tiny bit, right?
Yeah, I think it was very limited. I think the idea was it would have to turn.
Everybody needed a few of these on the battlefield. And look at these guys. Look how safe they feel back there. There's no ducking down. You don't have to duck down and hide behind anything.
Maybe that turned a little further than I thought it did. I don't know.
Does this have any interesting advancements in technology?
60 millimeter synchronized variable range cluster cannons.
Yeah, that's definitely ahead of its time. Cobra didn't see that coming.
Quick repair high speed track assemblies. How are they quick repair? Oh, I guess they'd have a link or something.
Yeah, it's like a quick change.
It's like a NASCAR pit stop.
Yeah.
Another thing on
We
it.
need some tracks over here.
That's how fast it was. Go 200 miles an hour.
Yeah, jeez.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun too. Devilfish. This was yours. It was red.
Oh, okay. This was Zartan's.
Nope.
Dang it.
That came with a diver too.
All right.
Was it Wetsuit who drove this one?
Don't remember his name.
You don't remember Wetsuit the diver? When you wanted to be an oceanographer and you thought he was the coolest guy ever?
Wetsuit?
Yellow helmet, grayish suit.
No, I don't.
He had like a spearfishing.
Did I forget all about my childhood dreams and aspirations?
I don't think this came with the guy, but he used to be the one on the show that would drive this.
What's up with this? Does it have an emergency escape vehicle?
No, it's the same thing. It's small.
Oh, that's how small this
Yeah,
is?
this is a one-seater.
Okay. That's why I thought
With
it was
two little
sardines.
two
Okay, I
little
remember
ends?
that part. I liked that they were connected.
Come back to you at all that it was red?
I'm gonna be looking some of these up when I get done. It's got a soft shock seat.
It's a little bit like a jet ski.
Yeah.
I love this little logo here.
I like that. Is he pointing or what's he doing?
He's holding a lightning bolt, I think.
Okay. Yeah, nobody's getting in the way of this thing.
Yeah, that's unstoppable.
With the shock seat and the 4 enormous missiles on the front of it with the machine gun, this is definitely not front forward weighted at all. Oh, okay, and then underneath too. A couple more. That's great.
Wire guided captor torpedoes.
This has a lot of
Fair amount of firepower,
yeah.
right there.
Watch out for the devilfish, folks, and the guy that we don't remember.
I thought it was Wetsuit who drove that. I might be wrong about that. Okay, tell me you remember this one. I know this one was yours.
Yes. This one was rad.
Okay, still not as good as the Sky Striker. I'm going to stick with that, but only because I was mad because this replaced the Sky Striker on the TV show.
I'll admit, the Sky Striker was cooler. The sweep back, the whatever we call those wings.
Okay, Sky Striker was flown by Ace.
Don't remember the name of this guy.
Slipstream?
Might have been.
Is it Slipstream?
Can you tell why I liked this one though? Another P-40 inspired decal. And there was such a plane like this, so I thought, okay, this is not terribly unrealistic.
Yeah, they were playing with the swooped wings at the time. I mean, it's a handsome plane. I just was mad because I love the F-14 so much. I was mad that they took that away. But.
Yeah. And this obviously was a lot cheaper than buying a Sky Striker.
Yeah, it probably was more to make it have swing wings. Probably was more cost effective to have everything be stationary.
Yeah, but this is also kind of cool, just the way that the.
It's a sexy airplane. I'm not saying it's not.
I feel like this was not drawn properly. Look at those 2 wings. Or the.
Didn't have a double wheel in the back and one in the front. The back wheels were like one piece. Yeah, I think that came down and they folded out.
Okay.
More engine access.
I remember we definitely used this one a lot. This one was a daily flyer. This one got a lot of flying.
Daily flyer.
Yeah.
Well, that was the question we got up when we started playing. It was like, are we playing G.I. Joe, Transformers, or Legos today? And that was the 3 things if we didn't have baseball that week. So, yeah, that was a fun play though. I like that one. Those drop tanks.
Okay, so tell me something then. Why is it that
Yep, drop tanks.
nowadays every kid in the neighborhood would have all these toys, right? Like I was the only one that owned that I know of.
I don't remember anybody else having one either.
Same thing with like this Tomahawk or the Havoc or yeah.
I think they had more options at the time because you go to the store back then, you had like 2 rows or 2 sides of an aisle were all G.I. Joe stuff. They have all the figures, so you could go in there with the same amount of money and the same number of birthdays and just choose different things.
I would have liked to have had a wingman. That's all I'm saying.
So we used a folding table. Remember, we used to take the folding table out and I put a piece of wood on it to be the island.
Okay, I do remember that.
And we'd set it in the front yard, and that was our aircraft carrier. Because I had a Sky Striker, and you had that. And we had a Rattler. I think we just like mix match whatever would go on the deck.
Yeah.
Somebody stole this Rattler. So we had some helicopters too, so we could fill the whole deck up with that. But
G.I. Joe was smart enough to steal what he needed to fill in the holes.
So I went to a garage sale, and they had a Tomahawk for sale. That's how I came up with it. That's how I got my Tomahawk. They had 3 of them, and I bought one, and I came home, and it didn't have all the pieces. I think they got them secondhand somehow. I went back and said, it's missing some things. Like, okay, take what you need. So I ended up having to go back there and build it in their where they were and put all the other parts back. So somebody else probably bought one thinking they were getting the whole helicopter, but they were missing pieces.
Wow.
But this was one of my favorites because you could put 4, I think that held 5 guys in the back, or maybe 6, 2 gunners and 4 people, and then 2 pilots.
Yeah.
Back opened up so you could throw some gear back there.
It's got a fenestrated tail, so that's like that's good for safety if you got guys walking up in and out of there. So they were worried about G.I. Joe's safety at that point.
Nobody getting
No
their head
one's getting
chopped
their
off.
head chopped off. And the old Chinook style double blade, there's a lot of lifting power in this sucker, which is good because it's carrying a lot of armament and dudes.
And it had a little thing that spun down with a string on it with a
Oh,
hook.
right, yeah.
So you could pick up things.
So,
Oh, look at how big the fuselage, the motor covers are.
yeah. So kind of like the Sea Stallion, kind of some Sea Stallion inspired stuff here too.
It had a fun tan, it was a tan camouflage on this one. Oh, that's right, the gun turret did spin too. Yes,
Yeah.
that spun around. What size cannon is this? 6-barreled 20-millimeter cannon. Okay.
We've got some titanium components now, finally.
Some bombs, because all helicopters should be on bombing missions.
Yeah. Does it have de-icing capability? That's my question.
That's when you send in what was the vertical takeoff and landing, the little green one before.
What's that one called?
I forgot. That's when you send those in when you need something that would be de-iced.
Yeah. There you go.
Not that one, the Skyhawks. Yeah, that's when you send the Skyhawks.
Oh, didn't the girl fly that one?
Scarlet?
Didn't Scarlet fly?
I remember Duke flying it around sometimes.
Okay, maybe that's who it was. Yeah.
And they pick up guys on the rails too.
Right.
You're flying around with guys just hanging on.
That's
the
why
rails.
we were all convinced that that's how you did it, between that and 007. Okay. That was a cool one.
Yeah, I really enjoyed playing with that one. Just very most of these, 95% of them just very playable.
Okay, so the original, sorry, coming back to this one. The original Cobra helicopter, not the Cobra enemy, but the
little black
Cobra-looking helicopter.
The single seat,
No, because what was the one that Wild Bill had?
that was a G.I. Joe.
But it was also a Cobra, like real-life Cobra
Oh,
helicopter.
okay. That's what you mean. I thought you
Yeah.
meant, okay.
Did he also fly this one? Did Wild Bill get to
No.
upgrade into this realm?
He, forget the name of this pilot too. No, Wild Bill stayed with his helicopter.
Okay. Good job, Wild Bill. Probably an E6, E5.
Yeah, I don't remember. It's going to come to me when we get done, but that had its own.
Yeah. Okay, now this was just amazing.
For such a big jet, they sure made the blueprints small. It's one of the bigger jets they made. So this is their Raven. It was their version of the Blackbird. And this had a lot of fun things. So it had a drone, like the real SR-71 actually had a drone at one point. And then it had some bomb pods that had the bombs facing backwards. So I guess you would drop that and it would glide into where you wanted it to, and it would drop the bombs. The cockpit opened from the bottom.
This was like an early version of like stopping power, right? Like it came up and slowed the plane down. Is that right? Is that what it did?
Yeah, there was
The
an
air brake.
air
Yeah,
brake
air
on there.
brake.
But the air brake also had guns on it, so you could shoot somebody behind you. Yeah, if you're going Mach 3, you want to open up that air brake to defend yourself.
Hit the air brakes, he'll fly right by.
Oh, yeah. And I think you pulled something in the middle and it would make the landing gear come out on this one. It might have been on top. There was a little lever
Yep,
for it.
I think so.
And then it had, what was the other cool thing this one had?
I just liked sorry,
Oh, go ahead.
Off the table. I just liked the fact that it had these the texture.
Striations?
Yeah, what plane has that?
The SR-71.
Actually has that on top?
Do you know why?
We had to flex.
Yeah, that plane stretches when it's flying, so that
Yeah.
makes up for that.
This was a super cool plane. The jet black. I think James owned this one though, didn't he?
He might have, our other brother. I think this came along a little later. It had air brakes too on the back. I think those dropped when the landing gear came down, and it had a little belly missile thing too that would open up.
So this thing is way cool because
Yeah.
I'm thinking of that drone on it. It just looked really cool when that was sitting on top of it.
And you could put another guy in that if you wanted to too.
Yeah. And that was always my favorite imaginative thing as a child, was the fact that you always had this like emergency escape vehicle. If something happened to the main platform, you could zip away in your drone. I don't know how you were going to get into the drone from the main plane.
Yeah, that would be interesting at high speed.
But just a couple of things that they changed that are sort of different than an SR-71, but just still make this unique to itself. You know, the windows right away tell you that you've got you're flying kind of an SR-71, but you know, the Sky Striker they made look just like an F-15 or an F-14, right? But somebody got to sit down and change it slightly, and it just looks amazing. It's a cool plane.
Yeah, that one was very playable too.
And it was huge.
Yes.
Which
I think
meant
it was the longest one.
I wonder if anybody ever landed one of those on an aircraft carrier.
I don't know, you could slow it down enough for that. They have to use a drogue chute. The Mirage motorcycle with the little sidecar. I think that was yours too.
Yeah, I don't imagine he lasted long in the battlefield.
Yeah,
It's
it's okay.
at some point somebody was like, you know, that's just going to get blown up. So let's make something cooler with tracks. And it does have a missile on it, which is definitely something you're not going to get at your local motorcycle dealer.
Unless you're 007.
Yeah.
Let me come back to that one. Okay. Here's your one of your dreadnought things.
Okay. Yeah, this one was cool. This is when things started getting a little silly.
What year did Mad Max come out? Because it seems like this came out about the same time Mad Max came out, and they were trying to tap
Yeah, I
into
mean,
that.
doesn't this have a turbo booster on the back?
Yeah,
What is that?
giant.
No, head laid carbon. No, that's a tire
Maybe
shield.
15. Knock dead 21 kilo thrust turbojet. Yep, there it is.
What?
Yeah, and it was like it had weird coloring to it, like it was
Yeah, well,
from a
'cause-
junk pile.
Yeah. Well, that's because, you know,
The Thunder Machine.
I don't know what to think about these ones. It started getting real silly about the same time, and the guns they had that the guys were carrying were kind of getting a little ridiculous too. I mean, it looks cool enough, but you're right. It's very Mad Max-esque, and maybe that's why somebody liked it.
And maybe that's why G.I. Joe had struggled later, because they were building stuff like that was stupid. And I'm sticking to it. Nothing dreadnoughty that I liked. Anyhow, back to something cooler.
Some imps.
Cobra Imp. Although I think this had a weird paint style to it, but yeah, it had three really big missiles.
This is like some Iron Curtain-esque kind of Russian-looking missiles, right?
Yeah, something the U.S.S.R. would pull out.
This is going down a parade for sure.
And coming back. And going back again. Bring the imps back. Bring it back again.
Yeah, because that would be pretty intimidating to have 100 of those going back and forth down
Oh,
Tiananmen
goodness. Can
Square.
you imagine 300 of these missiles flying at you from 100 launchers?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, one of the things
Oh my gosh.
that was like the flagstone of the original G.I. Joe was the blue Cobra Rattler with Wild Weasel, the pilot.
Wild Weasel.
Red outfit.
Yeah. In this
Like-
dark, like the midnight purple paint scheme that they used for this,
It was dark blue.
dark blue paint scheme. Yeah.
No purple in this one.
Putting it down in the comments below if it's purple or blue.
Blue. I guarantee you it's dark blue.
Okay, the fact that they put the turbines on the wings was really cool, and that the wings rotated. Chef's kiss. That was,
Vertical takeoff and landing, baby.
yeah. It still had the minigun on the nose. The cockpit that still looks the same, but then to have your gunner just behind your head.
See, this is the great thing about being an artist rather than an engineer. They're like, we can put as much weight on this thing as we want to, and we'll still say it can take off vertically. So here's this loaded out with just thousands of pounds of bombs and stuff.
If
And
you need a little extra lift, you just light a few of these, you know?
that's how you get off the ground.
Yeah.
You have to launch all the missiles just to get off the ground.
But it's got a third turbine back here too, right?
That's true.
That's pretty
Maybe
cool.
that was enough lift.
Yeah. So here we are, decades later, and the A-10 is still a hot topic in the Air Force, whether we're going to keep this thing going. And I say, look at this. Look at how it's inspired.
Decades of youth.
Yeah. This thing is mean.
And this was the one that had little panels you could take off and put one that had replacement panels that had bullet holes in it, so you could make it look like it had been through a battle already.
Yeah.
Like this square panel here, and then it had a rectangular one on the back. so it could look battle damaged.
Which I think inspired you with making some of your models to look like they'd been hit by something and still flying. So
Well,
little scorch marks.
we'll stick with that. Not that I screwed something up. Okay.
Yeah.
You seen the Calvin and Hobbes comic? So Calvin's sitting there, and Hobbes looks at it. He's like, "You sure mess up a lot of," and he beats it to death with a hammer, and Calvin says, "Oh, it got hit by anti-aircraft guns," and Hobbes says, "Oh, it seems like all of your models run into those, don't they?" So yeah, we'll stick with it. It was on purpose.
That's pretty funny. I think I did the same thing. I messed up. I had it was like a Bronco truck with a trailer and then a speedboat.
Okay.
And I messed it up somehow. And so then I lit the speedboat on fire and melted the whole front of the two pontoons. And it's got scorch marks all over it. So it's like the guy's just towing his broken speedboat
broken
back.
boat.
Yeah. So I guess Calvin had a good idea. What else about this thing?
Just had a lot of bombs. I just remember like never running out of ammo playing with this thing.
Yeah. This would have been scary to come through the sky.
Although, one frustrating thing about it, the back wheels had a little tiny plastic sprue, and if you popped them out a couple times, they would always break off. So the rule was don't close your landing gear on this thing. The front one could open and close a million times, but the side ones or the back ones, yeah, you learned real fast not to play with those.
Yeah. Yeah. Stinking cool toy though.
Yeah, that one's very playable too. It was interesting without flying against F-14s because they're completely different roles. But
Yeah. It says it has an airborne insignia. Where's that?
oh, Cobra.
Oh, okay.
The Cobra symbol with the wings.
Yeah, like a bat. Like a bat cobra. That's kind of cool.
That was a lot of fun. And somehow we must have had two Ravens because I have another set of Raven plans. All right, this one I know is yours.
Oh, yeah. This one was kind of dumb.
What?
Well,
It had beds in it.
okay, I used it a lot. Let's face it. We all loved this thing, and it had like a parking garage and a way to fix your
Remember how to lift? So you
yeah,
could-
which Dad was probably excited about, and then we could fix our GI Joe vehicles, the couple that could fit in there. Maybe the Skyhawk could
squeeze
hover
in
into
there.
there. They tried really hard, but let's face it, they knew that kids were not going to buy a 7-foot-long aircraft carrier-sized GI Joe headquarters, so they had to make it big enough.
Yeah, it was probably 2.5 feet across. That was still a fairly big toy,
Yeah.
but it was hard enough to store something that size, let alone something that was 6.5 feet long.
Yeah. I just don't think my enemies, when I was playing against them, were really scared of this thing.
That's interesting. I wasn't afraid of it, so that makes sense.
The Terradrome, that was something to stay away from. If I was in my X-30 flying around, I stayed at the perimeter of the yard while you were in the middle of the yard with your Terradrome. This thing, it's like, what can he hit? Well, he's got less armament than the
Yeah,
stupid
just
Deep,
come
Deep
up-
Six's little water pod.
All of your defenses are 180 degrees, so all you have to just fly around it and come in from the backyard.
Yeah, let's face it, the Vindo Viper came in and tried to infiltrate this place a few times.
Oh, jeez.
I might have had my
The Viper?
Windows Viped a few times.
That's funny. It did have a computer station, though.
That's important. They were gonna. I don't know what they were doing there yet. Some type of hyperlink, and then we got a helipad.
Helipad was cool.
Yeah.
That's it.
See, there's not a whole lot going on here, is there?
No, they didn't even exaggerate anything. It's all everything's like 2 words: weapons racks, mechanics lift, helipad.
I'm sure even Barbie stopped by and was like, "This place needs a facelift."
Double devastation cannon. They didn't even tell you what size it was. Laser cannon and searchlights. Wow, they didn't put a lot of effort into that one.
They didn't even get the spacing correct on 3 and 4. Oh, come on, people.
I think they were in a hurry to get that out.
Yeah.
The fact that that's not even spaced. Yeah. Okay.
Somebody's watching the video going, "I've been haunted
You
by
just
that for."
compare that to the effort put into calling everything with descriptions here.
Yeah. That was like we got to get this toy out for Christmas.
Yeah, I bet that was what it was. Deadlines, baby. What keeps
over
falling over there? I don't know. All right, so this is the Mauler.
Christmas past.
Dad about to pop out with an aircraft carrier.
Oh man, we could only be so lucky. He's like, you've got enough toys, trust me.
Yeah, he would not. He would probably be angry with himself.
All right, this thing was rad, so much so that kids thought they could just run this through the sands of Southern California and expect it to survive. Didn't last that long.
Mine broke eventually. We took it apart and had a little plastic gears that made it run, because this was actually a driving thing, and it was twice as fast as the original tank. Had a high speed on it that was really good. Was it heavy metal was the driver?
Maybe. That sounds about right.
And he came with a little mic, and that was the first thing everybody lost on this thing, was a little, and it's quite valuable if you have the original mic. It's just a stupid little tiny piece of plastic. But if you have the original one of these with heavy metal with the mic, that's quite valuable now.
All right, so all of you motorheads out there that know about some horsepower, is 1,800 horsepower somewhere in the realm of what an Abrams tank can do? And I don't think Abrams can go 62 miles an hour either, or have a 500-mile range. This must be nuclear powered.
Dual nuclear.
Yeah, before it has to stop at a 7-Eleven to refill. Because let's face it, we know that in 1985, plutonium was a little hard to come by. Sorry, 1955. But in 1985, you probably get plutonium on every street corner, Marty.
Are we going back to the future again?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Doc Brown.
60 layers of hull. How do they accomplish that?
Layering.
Oh, with titanium alloys, I see.
So these little side panels popped off so you could get at the wheels. It had rubber tracks on it.
Didn't it have a shovel somewhere?
I don't remember a shovel coming off.
Maybe it was like molded into it somewhere.
200-degree crow's nest rifle ports. Why 200-degree? Where's
That
20?
would have been up here, so he could. That would have been the crow's nest, right?
It's this piece up here. I don't know what that is. It could tow too.
Good. Was there anything we could actually? I mean, we would put strings on it, but was there anything that actually?
The Havoc. Because the pilot's sticking out in the open. You keep getting shot. Oh, it had mud flaps too. And they were rubber.
That's important. And the batteries.
Oh.
See, this is probably what they intended to do with the Warthog in the very beginning too.
Oh, you think they were going to put batteries on
Well,
it?
not the Warthog, but the hovercraft. Maybe that was going to be.
Oh.
And then partway through, they're like, no, we're not doing it.
That's an interesting thought. Maybe they're going to power the fans?
See, we need to get a version of it and see if D batteries fit into it, or if it really was just to stick a snack in.
I had a couple guys. All right, this one's pretty fun too. The Cobra Assault Pod, or the ASP. For the guy to get in this, it would tilt forward,
Yeah.
and then the cockpit would open. He'd climb in it and close it, and he'd drop back down.
It almost looked like a mech too, kind of on its.
That was a handsome thing, and it had a little. You could tow with this too.
Oh, good.
It actually had you wouldn't tow with it; it would be towed,
Yeah.
and the wheels would pop out of the way, so the wheels
See,
would
they
drop
finally
down.
had one you could tow. That's great. That's smart.
That was pretty early.
This
on.
is kind of cool because it's got some lunar lander kind of elements to it.
And shell-proof deflector shields,
Good.
in case the.
Tink.
So this one, I like this one a lot too.
The wheels could rotate.
Fire-breathing snake.
Cool. Oh yeah, that's nice. Very versatile.
Cobra Assault System Pod.
Twin fuel fillers. Good. That's important. I was the one that asked for that.
For a second, so they could refuel it faster. What fuel is it using if it's just
Maybe
pivoting
it's
a little bit?
it's the flame fuel.
That needs a car battery. That's it.
Really?
Oh, that's another one. Here's the Havoc. I keep talking about
Yay.
the Havoc getting towed.
Oh man, this thing was cool.
Oh, put the pilot high and unshielded. That's where he needs to be sitting, right up here on top.
Wasn't that guy driving inside of it?
No, he sat on top. Yeah, this was the seat. This was the main driver was up here, and then it could hold two other guys. I don't even know what the other guys were doing in there. 13. Impact resistant tilt back canopy. But this thing would rock up and out.
Yeah, it had to do that to get the hovercraft thingy out.
Yeah, the back would open this way, and then this thing. That was pretty cool. I enjoyed playing with that.
It did, and then the skids kind of.
Oh, they did rock. That's
Yeah.
right.
And it also let's for the viewers because they probably don't know what the Havoc what that stands for.
I don't remember either.
Hovercraft Avoidance Vehicle of Control.
You see that somewhere?
No.
I don't see any.
Okay, guys, we're
Yeah, it's the blueprint. It should tell us what that means.
yeah.
See if there's anything here. Oh, here we go. Heavy Articulated Vehicle Ordnance Carrier.
Ah, that was close.
Wow, that's a stretch, guys.
Heavy ordnance.
Heavy-
Articulated.
Articulated Vehicle Ordnance Carrier. What
And
ordnance was it carrying?
it's got like backwards facing ordnance.
Because you're always running away because the guy's going to get shot.
Yeah.
And
But
these
it
both
did
swiveled.
Yeah, they did swivel cool. I don't know why. Like right now, it looks a little futuristic, kind of the way a Cybertruck stands out. But I don't remember it feeling that way. It seemed really cool.
I liked it more back then than I do now.
It doesn't feel as Mad Max to me as that last Dreadnought vehicle. But we liked that one. That one got a lot of use as well.
This one I hate too. This is right up there with the pod. With that.
Oh heavens to Betsy!
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this came out at the same time. I think these were the same family of vehicles as that.
This is just
Pogo
awful.
Pod.
I'm sorry if you're watching this and you invented this.
We're
I'm
we're disappointed.
The temp job probably didn't last very long.
But allegedly, these things would buzz down into the ground and come up out of nowhere. And
Yeah, that's like some Ninja Turtles kind of thing, right? You know, they drill underground, and that's what that's making me think of. I don't want to be the guy inside of that.
micro adjust gun control mechanism.
This
That's
is why
right here.
Cobra lost the war. Crap like this.
Their weapons developers were dumb.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go into the pile real fast. Okay, we're almost to the end here. Recon sled.
I mean, what's that one app that you play that's got the dumb little vehicles? That's what this one reminds me of. You're just going to be spinning in the air with anti-gravity with this thing.
I mean, there's just nothing on this that adds any playability that other than your guys driving around. Maybe this came out when Tron came out.
This is what the one neighbor kid that you don't really want him touching the
Oh, you
Terradrome.
give him that thing?
You give him this thing. You're like, go play with this.
Go
Like, what am I supposed to do with this? Even he knows. It's
Go
a dumb
recon.
toy.
It's a recon sled. Go recon those two yards down.
Yeah, you see that tree over there with all the itchy bombs on it? Go over there and see how many you can count.
Oh, golly.
It's 96 horsepower. That's not enough compared to the tank.
Okay, that's the water moccasin.
Okay, now I gotta compare the two. Where's that other one? I didn't remember there being two things like that. Curiosity
Okay.
got the cat.
Zartan might have flown around on this thing.
Okay, I remember that. That's just silly though too. Okay. Okay, all right, you're right. This one was square in the front with the pontoons. This makes sense now. I remember the red color now all of a sudden. All right,
There it is.
There it is. Now we're back.
That's 45 minutes later. We're getting old. Coming to 50, you start forgetting what toys you played with when you're 8 or
Yeah.
9.
Try having a stroke and then talk about your toys you played with when you were 9. All right, so another cool. Yeah.
Okay, this was earlier on. They were still trying to keep it real. And this was cool. It was green. It's something you expect to come out of the swamp. It had this little weird torpedo. I don't even remember. Wasn't that hooked on underneath?
Yeah, it was like right in the front, I think. Or
I think it was in the back.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it was a
It would spit out.
rear-facing torpedo.
Right, it's like a Mario Kart kind of
Yep.
bump out the back and knock the guy with the turtle behind you.
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, that was fun. Oh, that's right. You could spin the propeller on this one.
Yes. And it worked really well for a long, long time. And it floated, and you could get it soaking wet, and then you do it again. Unlike this one that had the V-hole, this one just floated like a standard pontoon. Worked great down the back street with all the water in it.
It was fun. It had one guy in the front, one guy in the turret. You could hook a couple guys on the sides here. These little pins were for the guys to stand on.
And a shout out to Zartan, because he was like a chameleon and he could change color when he was hot and cold, like a mood ring. So I could relate to that as a child with my temper.
Okay, mood ring boy. A couple more things are kind of simple. Your guy could stand on the back here, I think.
This was like early.
Yeah, this is
G.I. Joe,
like
right?
first. This was with the Pack Rats, I think, was when this came out.
Okay.
But nothing too spectacular on that one.
Kind of looks like the Hoth in Star Wars too. Something you'd see shooting at an AT-AT or something.
And they were still putting shielding on here. They didn't want the guy to get killed
Yeah, they
by the jet blast, you know?
They're still worried about them. And then they learned later, we don't actually have to kill anybody. We can just make them really terrible shots and nobody dies. The law.
So the guy would sit on this side and control the gun on that side.
Okay.
Laser artillery weapon, so that's probably a little later on. It's all lasers.
I guess what we've seen here is that everything later, including the pogo and the giant razor blade hole driller, were mobile. None of these things were mobile. No wheels on it.
Yeah.
So you could send the kid off to use this, but he knew very well if you put him in the perimeter that he wasn't going to be in the battle. What in the heck is this?
This was, I think, just a little metal shield thing.
A little mortar.
Yeah.
Look, it doesn't even look G.I. Joe.
Came with an observation thing.
Yeah, they're so proud of this part. And like, it comes with a pedestal.
Figurine posing stand.
There you go.
This must have been first generation too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it came with, yeah. I remember the little box of mortar shells.
So hold on a second. Let's compare why the company, my reasoning for why they're not doing well. And why we stopped seeing, why they went under. We went from here to here. That's where you went wrong.
And we weren't interested in this. We were interested in what was real.
A little more
And not so,
realistic.
and we liked it to be a little bit more futuristic, but not so much that it was completely sci-fi. And
Laser beams are cool. Everyone likes lasers. But I feel like that went too far.
But not when you took Dad's circular saw and turned it into a weapon. Don't weaponize Dad's tools.
That
do
was
it.
one of their gun things, wasn't it? With the dreadnoughts? They said.
Oh, the guy had a chainsaw. That's
Yeah.
right.
There might have been a circular saw thing on the end of it.
No, I think it was a chainsaw.
Was it? Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. But there was a gun part of it, too.
Yeah, I think it had a laser on it too.
The swamp fire.
It was kind of silly, but kind of cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Didn't
wasn't
he
like
sweep back, too? Like, you could sweep
yeah, I
them
think
and
because then
you
it could, yeah, then you could boat it.
Yeah. It's not a terrible idea. Because I guess what it is the kid can actually use their imagination.
But then along with your forward observer, you know, this is again first generation. Came with an ammo box, had extra missiles and things in it, had extra gas cans, extra shells, and what are they calling 7? Is that food? No, that's
Steel
grenades in there. Yeah, so the whole point of this was to reinforce your position, and they just quit doing that. You know,
And every early Christmas list soldier knew that he needed some of this if he was gonna, he was gonna contribute to his ammo portfolio.
his portfolio.
Yes.
All right, leading up to the last two things. Although we did not get the aircraft carrier, one Christmas I did get the $60 price point, which was a couple $100 today. Terrordrome.
Cobra's got the right materials. Cobra's got the perfect tone. Cobra Terradrome. Cobra Terradrome. Cobra's got a threat more evil than G.I. Joe has ever known. Cobra Terradrome.
We're ready for the Joes. Launch the fire bat. G.I. Joe won't know what hit them.
G.I. Joe, American hero.
Will the Cobra Terradrome be the beginning of the end for G.I. Joe? Find out in Marvel Comics.
Now this thing, I kid you not, I probably wouldn't be able to put my arms around it. It was that big around. And it had this really cool dome thing in the middle that opened up, had these fingers that came up and opened the dome. So you'd release this thing, and out, when you did that, the Terrordrome fire bat would come up, and the wings would be popped in, so it would be coming up out of that cone. And then when you launched it, you would open the wings up, and it would go out.
Yeah.
And this was really, futuristic but cool. And it had the Cobra symbol molded into every angle, had bottom cannons, had these two big main turrets that could spin all the way around. Maybe those didn't spin all the way around. I don't remember now. but it had control points all the way around the circle here, and all these panels opened up. There was a refueling station. There was a prison, like a brigade. There's a place for ammo.
It had like a break room, so
I think there's a break room in
so
there,
you could sit and talk to the guys from the office.
and two little gun rooms, and yeah, just very playable. And that became the center of where we were playing. Let's go put the Terrordrome down in the middle of the yard, and that became the center point for that base at least. And somebody else would have another base set up somewhere, like the aircraft carrier or whatever, or a folding table for those of us who didn't get the aircraft carrier 40 years ago. But
Yeah, still waiting. But I feel like either the marketing did a good job with this, or we hyped it up quite a bit.
it was playable. It was playable.
Everybody was scared of this thing.
I mean,
Scared. I'm more scared of that than I definitely was of the command center.
I don't know why that part is, other than the set of 360 presents.
Yeah. This was a really cool toy.
One person could carry it. It was hard though. Usually two guys would grab the sides and would carry it out to where it was going. But
Yeah.
did these turn all the way, or did they just face one direction? That would have been cooler if they
I
turned.
don't remember.
That's gonna bug me now. Yeah, see where the. Yeah, I think they did. Yeah, they're on a pivot. Okay, yeah. So there's no safe place. You're gonna two guns shooting at you all the way around.
Yeah. Oh, and all the command the control center too on the inside there. Forgot about that. But yeah, the fact that all these doors could pop open and lots of stuff for lots of people to do. So it wasn't like a lot of toys where just one kid gets to interface with the toy. There was a place for everyone to be in here.
And this almost became like sitting around a campfire. You'd put it in the middle of the yard, and you'd have your group of 3 or 4 or 5 kids could all sit Indian style in front of this thing, and just have a good old time. And
Yep.
and then when it was time, you'd launch the fire bat, and out this thing came, and it was really cool.
Yep.
I don't remember the pilot's name on this one either.
Yeah.
So we are just joking about not getting the aircraft carrier. It is funny though, it's the 40th anniversary of that, and that's actually what prompted me to want to get these out. And because it's been a while, I haven't looked at these things in a long, long time, but they've just been sitting in a folder in my garage, or in my closet. I thought one day I should get these out and show them to my brother, because we used to play with a lot of these toys. Yeah. And then it came with a label.
Yeah.
That's where all that was the hardest part on Christmas morning, though, was spending all the time getting the labels put on.
Yeah.
We can't play until we got all the decals done, man.
Right.
the freaking Sky Striker. It must have had 50 no-step
Oh,
logos.
really?
Yeah. All over that thing, all over the wings. And at some point, you just have to give up. Okay, I get it. We're not stepping on the wings anywhere. So, yeah, we had a great childhood. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. It was a good time to be raised.
Yeah, lived on our boyhood on Briarwood. It's the place where we grew up. And I think some of my favorite memories are buried in that backyard between the toys we accidentally buried and some pets we had and stuff. But yeah, we both grew up in the same house I was in the house for 13 years, from 6 till I was about 21 or so. So only place I've been in longer now is this house I'm in now. But it's fun to put down roots and spend your life in a certain place.
Yeah. Spent a lot of time playing Army. That's for sure.
As we got older, it turned into Super Soaker water guns, a lot of water balloon wars, and sticks were always guns. Didn't matter what age we were.
Yeah. No, it was good fun.
But yeah, thank you, G.I. Joe, for all the memories. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Look! Smoke! Let's get out of here! Ow!
Don't go out that door.
It's barbecue!
You might let in poisonous gases. Stuff something under the door. And stay low. That way you avoid the heat and gases that rise upward. Remember, if a fire breaks out in your home, always test the door first. If it's hot, find another exit or yell for help.
Now we know.
And knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe!